Hey, I'm right back with another video. It's 3:28, July 31st in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and it is, of course, blazing hot out here in Bakersfield. And so I'm just kind of flopped on my bed trying to stay cool. I got my two portable air conditioners on, and I don't feel like sitting up on my couch, so it's better to kind of lay on my bed and just stay in one spot and not generate any heat because it's very hot today. Yes, my air conditioners work, but it's exhausting. Okay, I can't even tell you. So I was watching a video on my phone today, and I'm trying to stay off the targeted individual subject, okay? But like I said, you know, if you have subscriptions or whatever, certain videos are going to pop up. And so I was kind of wondering about Gina Lynn's last video, or it wasn't her last video, but she put out a video last week, and it was titled, When did it become overt? You know, I'm sure everyone knows who Gina Lynn is. She is another targeted individual. As she was talking about, you know, some of the coincidences and how, you know, she suspects that people have been like spying on her for the last 20 years for people to bring up certain issues that occurred so long ago. And so I guess she's coming to the realization that she's been watched longer than she probably has been. But, you know, when it comes to this issue, what it is, and I explained this in another video, but it's basically everybody that you know is involved in your targeting. So maybe she wasn't under surveillance for 20 years. Maybe it could have been a person from a long time ago who's involved in her social network. Like I said, you don't realize that you're involved with this social network, this social underground. I call it a secret society, okay? It's a secret society of a network of people that you know, okay? And just about everybody is involved in it, from your kids that you knew back in grade school, elementary, whatever, high school, people that you knew in your neighborhood when you were growing up, people from Facebook, odd as that is, your employers, neighbors, whatever. You know, they're all involved in this network, okay? And it all formulates in different ways, but oftentimes it does start with a family member. So it shouldn't be that much of a surprise, you know, when you think about it. Oftentimes, you know, you have a family member or whatever, or a friend who's orchestrating things behind the scenes, but they're not telling you. So that's one of the reasons, or one of the things that, you know, I kind of wanted to mention, because not all of it's done through surveillance. Some of it could be like maybe you did something with a friend many years ago. Like maybe you went to a camping trip with a friend many years ago, and maybe you tripped on a bucket, and that story has been generating for a very long time, and now people are throwing that story back in your face. This is just an example. That's one of the things. The reason why it's done is because they kind of like throwing out clues to try to get your attention, which they don't realize how uncomfortable it makes you. You don't want to bring up things like that, and it's not something that you're, you know, most people, such as myself, you know, are not comfortable, you know, with people just kind of deciding to intrude upon my personal life and dictating it. But this is what it is. It's basically a group of people who are controlling the strings behind your back and talking and smiling in your face as if nothing is even going on. Even though they see that you're under a lot of stress, they don't understand. They don't ever get the connection that they're the ones who are causing you the stress. They don't get that. They just see that, you know, you're panicky, you're overly nervous, and they don't know why. It's them. They're the ones who are doing it, okay? But they do. They have their network. They have people that you live close to. They are involved in it. Everybody is involved in it because they are intrigued with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's very tiring. So, yeah, I mean, everybody from your family to your friends is involved in it. That's the most shocking part and the most heartbreaking part, okay? Because you think, oh my gosh, I'm the kind of person, I like to keep my life separate. I don't like to merge the two. I don't like merging work with my personal life. But I've had a particular boss who took it upon herself to make decisions for me that I would have never consented to. And she feels as though I should be affiliated with all these people when I would have never asked to have this big group of people involved in my life, not on the way that I wanted them to. Okay, I mean, of course I want to keep in touch with certain people, but you know, it's like your life becomes on display. And it's a violation of your privacy. These people have absolutely no idea of the discomforts that they cause you, the stress that they cause you. They don't even realize that they have no right to do what they're doing. Okay, so you have to kind of assert your rights. I get tired of it every day. You know, I wake up every day and I know that I'm in a situation that doesn't quite add up, and it makes you nervous, you know. Yeah, it squashes a lot, and it takes a lot of your vital energy. You know, I am very unhappy about the situation I'm in, and but that's what it is. It's basically just a group of people who invited themselves into your life and decided to make life decisions, major life decisions for you, for their own selfish purposes. And that's basically what it is. So, yeah, and it's very sad because, you know, you feel betrayed in a lot of ways. I will tell you, I was thinking today, I kept thinking, you know, if I knew that somebody was launching an illegal investigation, because see, I know the difference between right and wrong, okay? You'd be surprised how ignorant people are. They don't know the difference between right and wrong. But if somebody came up to me and said, we're doing this investigation on so-and-so, and if they're not a member of law enforcement, they're not a member of like the FBI or CIA or anything like that, I'm going to tell that person. I'm going to warn them, you know, because I know better. But most people don't know better. And so they participate in this stupid game of, you know, manipulating your life and destroying your life and everything. And it's just as easy as that. So, you know, and it's sad because you think, my gosh, you know, your own family's involved in this. Yeah, they're involved in it. They're involved in it. And they wouldn't tell you. You know, that's like the worst thing anybody could ever do to a person. It really is. But anyway, that's what it is. And that's how these coincidences start popping up. That's how, you know, things that happened to Gina Lynn and everyone else that happened many years ago is suddenly being brought back up now. It's because these people are involved. So whoever you had that embarrassing situation with, whoever Gina had this embarrassing situation with, that person is probably involved in it. That's just the way it is, okay? And no, it's not something that you find funny. It's never going to be funny to you. I will never look back and think, oh, this is funny. It's not funny. You know, I will never think of it that way. Because when you think about the pain that these people cause, I find very little humor in it, you know. So, and I'm not talking about like the cute guy. I'm referring to the people like, you know, employers and things of this nature. That to me is just so inappropriate. And so, like, you know, so, but when it comes to like people like Gina Lynn and some of these other people, your employers are probably mingling with people that you used to know. And much like myself, this could be an issue that related to Facebook. Facebook is a social media site, and I know a few years ago a lot of employers were bragging about them, you know, using Facebook as a determining tool to hire people, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Has nothing to do with your skills, okay? But, you know, they think looking at a Facebook picture or whatever is basically, or what you do on Facebook. What you do on Facebook and how you are on Facebook is complete difference of how people really are, okay? I see people, you know, portraying themselves one thing. I wasn't really portraying myself as anything. I would take a picture every once in a while and throw it on there. And it was usually just me, okay? I had one picture of me and my son. But whatever. I mean, they also like to attach themselves to people that you used to know. And people start talking and people start planning, and they start planning your life is basically what it is. So I'm not sure if you have been under surveillance that long. There's a possibility. I know. I think surveillance equipment is far more sophisticated than it was, I would say, 20 years ago. I mean, I know they've been doing surveillance for years, okay? I know a long time ago, I guess people used to sit out in the cars with like these, like, I don't know, these like, I forgot those long things that people would insert into their ear or whatever. I know it was a little bit more complex, but now it's not that difficult to do. Now, I mean, they have all kinds of things that can easily be inserted into your house or whatever. to where they can hear you and watch you with cameras that are super small. I've seen some cameras online about a year ago. Some of these cameras are like the head of a pin. I mean, they're very small. So there's all kinds of things, okay? But whatever the case is, people from your past are involved in your targeting, and some of it is based on surveillance, and some of it's just stories that they're sharing with your main driving perp, and then they are basically throwing it back out to you in certain situations. Like they might bring it up, mention it, you know, or whatever, and it's psychological terror is basically what it is, because it's not something that you feel comfortable with, and whatever it is, even if it's very small, it's just like, why are you doing this? It's completely inappropriate. I don't feel comfortable with it. Yeah, so these people are psychological terrorists, is basically what they are. And so anyway, I just wanted to make this video, and I am very tired, and I'm extremely exhausted, and I'm, you know, dealing with my depression, you know. I don't like being a victim of this program. I don't, you know, and I'm hoping that, you know, my biggest hope is that people would just follow the rules and stop inflicting their bullshit on other people's lives.